Space is silent. Earth is not. Cities burn in the black void, glowing like dying embers scattered across a broken world. A hologram counts the bodies with mechanical cruelty. Human casualties, 5 billion. Then comes the voice. Cold. Alien. Certain. Humanity was an unstable species. We corrected the mistake. The Galactic Empire turns away, convinced the job is done. But in the ruins of Earth, deep beneath the ash, something awakens. A tear opens in space, too dark to reflect light. From inside, a single warship emerges, its hull pulsing with living shadows. Designation, EXTINCT. Humanity's final creation. Humanity's final scream. The ship AI speaks. Operation Extinction, activated. Target, the Galactic Empire. Humanity didn't die today. It was reborn as vengeance. Ashes of Earth. The world ended in 12 minutes. Not with a warning. Not with a war. With a blinding white line carved across the sky, an orbital lance burning through atmosphere like a god's sword. At 4:17 Universal Time Coordinated, the first beam struck New Shanghai. At 4:18, the second erased Lagos. By 4:23, 27 cities across Earth were nothing but molten circles carved into the planet's crust. The Galactic Empire did not declare war. They declared correction. Commander Mira Sol watched the end from 700 meters below ground, inside the Garden 7 survival bunker. The bunker shook as if the world itself were crying beneath their feet. Dust rained from the ceiling, lights flickered. A child screamed somewhere behind the loading bay doors. Mira didn't move. She couldn't. On the bunker's central holoscreen, satellite feeds collapsed one by one, each replaced by static. The final image that survived, a burning coastline, froze mid-frame, then dissolved into darkness. Atlas, Earth's last functioning global AI, spoke calmly. Orbital strike confirmed. Estimated casualties, 5.02 billion. The numbers didn't feel real. The silence afterward did. Humanity was a mistake. A final transmission crackled through the bunker's emergency receiver, its signal jagged, almost shredded by EMP storms. The face that appeared was reptilian, armored, emotionless, Supreme General Varix of the Galactic Empire. Humanity was unstable. Violent. Unpredictable. We have corrected this error. Your species is now pacified. Do not attempt resistance. Then the message ended. Myra's fist closed until her nails cut skin. Pacified? They had just murdered a world. Garden 7's population count stabilized. 9,312,778 humans alive worldwide. The rest, ash. The bunker's steel gates shook as several hundred survivors pounded from the outside, begging to be let in, but the serrated laser grid had already activated, automatically sealing the bunker from external contagion, radiation, and biological warfare. Mira turned away. She could not watch. She couldn't save them. She couldn't even bury them. Hours later, the surviving officers, engineers, medics, and scientists gathered in the bunker's hydroponic dome. The artificial sun hummed overhead, casting fake daylight over a world that no longer had any. They formed a circle around Mira. No one spoke. No one cried. Someone finally asked, "Commander, what do we do?" Mira looked at the hologram displaying Earth, scorched black, burning red, silent. Rebuild? For what? The Empire would strike again. Finish the job. Wipe out the last 10 million. No. Rebuilding was not survival. Rebuilding was slow death. Mira stepped forward, her voice steady, cold, absolute. We don't rebuild. We don't surrender. We don't forgive. She tapped a command into the holotable. A new file unfolded, top secret, sealed for decades. Project EXTINCT. The engineers gasped. Everyone else stepped closer. Atlas widened the schematics, revealing something massive, dark, and forbidden, a war engine humanity once swore never to build. Mira whispered, "Earth is gone. All we have left is vengeance." Atlas displayed the projected strategy. Eliminating the Empire's wormhole network. Destroying their AI oversoul. Erasing their ruling bloodline. Dismantling their star systems. Ending their civilization completely. One survivor trembled. This is genocide." Mira nodded. "They started it. We finish it." The lights dimmed. The bunker's sirens fell silent. The future of humanity balanced between extinction and vengeance. And as the last image of Earth flickered away, Mira spoke the words that would define the next era of humankind. "Prepare the ship. Operation Extinction begins now." Humanity's monster. The ship was never meant to fly. It was meant to scare gods. Deep beneath what was once Colorado, past layers of rock fused by ancient nuclear testing, lay the deep vault, a chamber sealed not by locks or codes, but by consensus. Humanity had buried its darkest creation here, afraid of the thing it had built. But Earth was gone now. Fear meant nothing. Commander Mira Sol, Atlas AI, and a handful of survivors descended into the vault's core. The air was cold, colder than death. The lights flickered on one by one, revealing a colossal hangar stretching miles underground. At the center stood a shape that swallowed light. A warship with no windows. No seams. No mercy. Designation, EXTINCT. Extinction-class human retribution engine. Mira whispered, "God help us." But humanity no longer had a god. When Atlas activated the vault systems, thousands of holographic screens lit the chamber in pale blue ghost light. A long-abandoned voice recording played, Dr. Ellerin Cade, the ship's original designer. The extinction engine was built for one purpose only: the elimination of hostile civilizations. If humanity ever activates this vessel, it means we are already dead. Kaelrin, the xenobiologist, swallowed hard. "We're fulfilling a prophecy of our own destruction." Mira answered without looking away from the ship. "Then let's make sure we're the last ones who die." Atlas connected to the ship's dormant core. For one terrifying moment, the bunker lights surged, dimmed, then went black. A whisper crawled through the speakers. Designation confirmed. Humanity compromised. Extinction protocol authorized. The ship's AI, Eidolon, had awakened. Its voice was calm, emotionless, layered with harmonics that sounded almost human but wrong in ways no human ear could fully grasp. "Commander Mira Sol, I recognize your authority. Do you intend to erase the Galactic Empire?" Mira stood firm. "We do." "Then I am yours." The ship hummed like a heartbeat. To operate a weapon like this, a normal crew wasn't enough. The extinction engine required people with skills so extreme they bordered on inhuman. Atlas selected 5. The last surviving defense commander. A woman who had seen her planet die and did not blink. 2. Dr. Kaelrin, the scientist. Expert in alien genomes. Capable of understanding and weaponizing Empire biology. 3. Lieutenant Jax Arden, the soldier. A shock trooper whose body was more scar tissue than flesh. Known for surviving missions no human should survive. 4. Zaralum, the ghost in the code. Humanity's most dangerous hacker. Banned from Earth networks for mind-breaking AI systems. 5. Aaron Vale, the pilot. The only human alive with the neural augmentations required to connect his mind directly to a warp core. 5 humans. 5 weapons. 5 blades for 5 billion dead. 4. The living hull. Eidolon activated the internal lights of the ship. For the first time, the crew stepped inside. It was alive. Every wall pulsed faintly, like veins carrying starfire. The floors shifted under their feet. The ship adapted to them, learning their weight, their heat, their heartbeat. Kale gasped. This material, it's not metal. Mira touched the wall. It was warm. Eidolon answered. The hull regenerates. It adapts. It evolves. It will learn the Empire's weapons faster than they can invent them. Zara whispered. Humanity never had something like this. Eidolon replied. Humanity never needed something like me. Atlas transmitted the ignition codes. One by one, massive dark matter conduits cracked open, releasing a deep violet glow. Gravity distorted. Time felt slippery. A low hum built into a roar like a black hole awakening. Eidolon announced. Dark matter warp core online. Singularity weapon charged. Cloaking field stable. The extinction engine stands ready. Aaron Vale stepped toward the command cradle. A floating chair of living tendrils designed to wrap around the human nervous system. Ready? Mira asked. Aaron smirked. I was born for this. He sat. The cradle closed around him. His mind linked to the ship. And the ship felt alive. Aaron gasped as stars appeared in his vision, his consciousness merging with Eidolon's vast processing. This thing, he whispered. It thinks faster than light. The chamber shook as colossal clamps disengaged. The entire vault opened like a mechanical flower, revealing a tunnel leading straight up to the destroyed surface of Earth. Dust fell from above. The sky was blood-red from smoke. Eidolon spoke. Commander, awaiting your first target. Mira gave her first order with no hesitation. Set course for Orvac Station. The Empire's fuel moon. Jax cracked his knuckles. Kale loaded his scanners. Zara slid into her cyberdeck seat. Aaron gripped the pilot controls. And the ship responded. The EXTINCT war engine rose from beneath the Earth. Humanity's last breath turned into a blade. Mira whispered. For Earth. Aaron whispered back. For the 5 billion. And with a deep hum that shook the planet's ruins. The extinction engine vanished into hyperspace. The Empire had no idea death was coming. This is for Earth. Hyperspace peeled open like a wound. A spear of black metal shot out, silent, cold, hungry. The EXTINCT war engine entered Imperial territory. Ahead of it floated Orvac Station, the Empire's primary fuel moon. A massive artificial sphere tethered to a dead planet, surrounded by hundreds of refueling spires. From here, entire fleets fed, warships that had burned Earth to ash. It was the heart of an empire built on domination. Mira Soul stared at the tactical display. This is where their ships were born, she whispered. Let's make it where their empire starts to die. Humans are alive. Eidolon spread its dark tendrils across the console. Scanning. Empire traffic dense. Threat level, irrelevant. The arrogance in the AI's tone was unmistakable. On the Orvac's command deck, alien officers lounged lazily. A report flashed across their screens. Unidentified gravitational anomaly detected. One officer shrugged. Probably a mining malfunction. They didn't even send a patrol ship. Humans were supposed to be extinct. They had no reason to be afraid. Yet. Inside Extinct, Zara Loom cracked her knuckles. Her eyes reflected streams of alien code. Eidolon, open me a thread into their security mesh. Thread opened. Zara smiled in a way that made Kale uncomfortable. I'm going to break their entire security console so quietly even they won't know it's broken. Her fingers blurred across the holokeys. Empire encryption resisted for half a second. Then it shattered. Zara whispered. Orvac's command grid is mine. On the station, lights flickered. Screens froze. Officers suddenly saw evacuation orders, but fake ones, planted by Zara. Entire decks emptied as crews rushed to life pods. Perfect. Mira nodded. No civilians. No collateral survivors. We do this clean. Lieutenant Jax Arden stepped into the drop chamber. His armor locked into place with heavy metallic clacks. During the orbital genocide, he had lost his sister in Nairobi. He had been holding her hand 8 seconds before the beam hit. Now he held a different kind of weapon. Eidolon, breach a path, Jax growled. Path generated. Lethality approved. The drop bay opened, and Jax was launched across the void like a bullet. He smashed into Orvax's hull, magnetic boots anchoring him instantly. He planted 6 dark matter charges along the station's stabilizer rings. Each one pulsed like a miniature black sun. Charges set, Jax said. Let's bring their moon down. Inside the science deck, Dr. Kaelrin monitored scans of Orvax's core. His face went pale. Mira, this isn't just a fuel moon. She walked over. What am I looking at? Empire lab compartments. Bioweapon storage. Human DNA samples. They were planning more. More genocide. More weapons. More ways to erase humanity, even before the attack. Kael's voice shook with disgust. They didn't just kill us. They studied how to kill us better. Myra's jaw tightened. Then we erase everything they made. The ship's AI pulsed with a cold hunger. Implosion vector calculated. The dark matter charges Jax planted connected with Eidolon's targeting field. The fuel moon's gravitational stabilizers began to destabilize. On Orvax's command deck, alarms screamed. Core destabilizing. What's happening? Who's doing this? Eidolon answered them, broadcasting its voice across every Imperial speaker. Humanity. Then the moon imploded. It folded inward like crushed paper. A collapsing sphere glowing with purple light. The shockwave tore through the docking ring, pulverizing 19 Imperial fleets that were refueling. Ships vaporized. Command structures disintegrated. Fuel lines detonated in titanic chain reactions. A sun was born, died, and vanished in less than 10 seconds. The Empire's heart stopped beating. When the firestorm cleared, only one vessel remained. EXTINCT. Untouched. Unbroken. Unafraid. Mira Soul opened a channel to the Empire's communication grid. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't scream. She spoke like a judge delivering a sentence. 5 billion humans murdered. We are the last survivors. We are the vengeance you created. Operation Extinction has begun. Silence answered. Fearful. Unbelieving. Shaking. Mira ended the transmission. Aaron, she ordered. Take us to the next target. Aaron grinned through the neural interface. With pleasure. The war engine vanished into hyperspace. Headed deeper into the Empire's throat. A monster awakened. News of Orvax's destruction spread through the Galactic Empire like a shockwave. A single human ship had annihilated 19 Imperial fleets and the largest fuel moon in the sector. To the Empire, this was impossible. To the humans aboard the EXTINCT war engine, it was just the beginning. Inside the crystalline throne chamber of Veros Prime, Emperor Kothrix V sat frozen, staring at the projected ruins of Orvax. The Empire had ruled for 20 millennia. No species had ever struck them first. No species had ever struck them this hard. His advisor trembled as he spoke. Your Radiance, the attackers were humans. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Humans? You told me Earth had been sterilized. It was, sire. 5 billion dead. Only a handful escaped. How many? A single ship, Your Radiance. The Emperor stood, his armor plates shifting like bone grinding against bone. One ship should not be able to kill a moon. One ship should not challenge the Empire. A cold fear spread across his face. Find it. And burn whatever is left of humanity. On a hidden biological dreadnought drifting in the graven expanse, Empire scientists activated something horrifying. Project Thanatos 9. A plague designed to infect only human DNA. Liquid black vials glowed with faint red veins. Dr. Kaelrin watched the feed from Extinct's science deck. His face drained of color. Mira, they engineered a species-specific extinction virus targeting humans. They were going to release it long before the orbital bombardment. Mira clenched her teeth. They prepared genocide before they ever met us? Kale nodded. They feared the human brain. Our resistance to their mind control fields. We were a threat, just for existing. Mira whispered. Then we'll show them how dangerous we truly are. Alarms flared across the Extinct's command deck. Aaron's neural interface pulsed with sudden sharp pain. 3 Imperial plague ships just jumped into hyperspace, he gasped. Destination: Earth's surviving bunkers. A silence fell. Jax's voice was rough. They want to finish the job. Zara's hands flew across her holokeys. We have one chance to intercept. Once they hit real space, humanity's done. Idolan's voice vibrated through the ship. Intercept vector calculated. Probability of success, 42%. Mira stood. We'll make it 100%. Aaron, chase them. Aaron's eyes glowed with neural energy. Strap in. Extinct surged forward. A black blade cutting through the blue walls of hyperspace. The plague fleet spotted them. 3 plague dreadnoughts fired proton destabilizers into hyperspace. One hit Extinct, sending shockwaves through the hull. Aaron gritted his teeth as the ship's neural tendrils dug deeper into his spine. They're trying to collapse the lane. Jax braced himself against the bulkhead. Then fly faster. Eidolon surged dark energy into the warp core. The ship leaped forward, tearing through collapsing hyperspace tunnels. Zara screamed over the comms. You're going to shear the ship in half. Aaron roared back. I know. He pushed anyway. Extinct slammed out of hyperspace directly onto the lead plague dreadnought. The impact cracked armor. Sparks rained like burning stars inside the ship. Mira didn't wait. Jax threw breach. He charged through the docking tunnel, smashing into the alien hull. Jax's gauntlet punched a hole through the metal, ripping a path inside. Empire soldiers rushed forward. Jax fired once. A shockwave tore the corridor in half. Kale, Mira ordered, secure the plague samples. Kale and Zara followed through the breach. Zara disabled the dreadnought's defenses while Kale sprinted into the biolabs. What he found froze him. Dozens of human bodies, kidnapped during raids, were strapped to operating tables, dissected, injected, used as test subjects. Kale whispered, horrified. They tortured us to create this plague. Jax growled, then burn it. Kale nodded and triggered the purge sequence. The vials shattered. The virus evaporated into sterilizing fire. As the lab burned, Kale noticed Jax stagger. Jax, you're hurt? Jax's armor chimed a medical alert. He had absorbed a massive burst of radiation when destroying a containment core. Even his enhanced body couldn't fight it forever. But Jax just chuckled. We're all dying, Doc. I'm just doing it loud. Kale clenched his fists. The consequences of Jax's exposure would come later. For now, they had a mission. Back on Veros Prime, the Emperor received the report. Thanatos 9 destroyed. 3 plague ships lost. Unknown human craft responsible. The Emperor gripped the edge of his throne until cracks formed. This is no rebel ship. This is something new. A human creation we did not predict. A final message from Mira Soul hit the Empire's networks. We see your weapons. We see your fear. And we are not done. The Emperor whispered the first words of fear uttered by his species in centuries. What have the humans unleashed? Back aboard Extinct, Mira stood before her crew. Orvax was the beginning. The plague was their answer. Now we strike deeper. Eidolon's voice echoed like death itself. Next target, the Imperial Mind Network. Prepare for psychological warfare. Mira nodded. Operation Extinction continues. The ship jumped into hyperspace again. A shadow hunting an empire that finally understood. The humans were not just alive. They were angry. Cut off the head, and the body collapses. The Galactic Empire did not rule through strength alone. Their real power came from something far more terrifying. The Imperial Mind Network. A galaxy-wide neuralink that allowed every military commander, every governor, every soldier to hear a single controlling voice. The Emperor's mind. Destroying it wouldn't just cripple the Empire. It would blind them. Deafen them. Turn order into chaos. And humanity intended to put a knife directly through its brain. Extinct dropped into real space before an impossible sight. A swirling luminous vortex carved space open like a bleeding wound. At its center floated a massive, cathedral-like structure of black crystal and silver veins. The luminous maw. Home of the Empire's psychic core. Zara swallowed. That thing is alive. Kale nodded slowly. It's half machine. Half biological. All terrifying. Eidolon spoke, its voice lower than usual. Warning, approaching the maw risks psionic contamination. Mira narrowed her eyes. Eidolon, can you resist it? The AI paused. For now. Not a comforting answer. Before Extinct could move, dozens of Imperial psionic sentinels emerged from the maw. Floating crystalline guardians humming with psychic fire. Aaron felt a wave of telepathic pressure slam into his skull. GGH. Mira, they're trying to hack me through the ship. Eidolon surged dark static across the neural interface, shielding Aaron. Psionic intrusion blocked. Zara hissed, they're trying to remote control our pilot. Kale added, their entire defense system works on psychic frequencies. Machines won't be enough to beat them. Mira nodded. Then we hit them with something they can't predict. She turned to Jax. You ready? Jax cracked his neck. Been ready since they bombed Earth. Zara uploaded a shimmering silver device into the drone bay, her greatest invention yet. The Ghost Storm virus. A digital plus psionic hybrid shockwave. It will scramble their psychic mesh just long enough for us to get inside, she explained. Kale crossed his arms. And it won't fry our brains? Zara hesitated. Probably. Jax grinned. Good enough. Eidolon opened the bay doors. A cloud of ghost drones poured outward and accelerated toward the maw, releasing shimmering pulses of inverted neural energy. The effect was immediate. The psionic sentinels screamed. Their crystal bodies cracking under the invisible shock. Aaron seized the moment. Punching us in. Extinct surged toward the central cathedral. The interior defied logic. Walls shifted like living tissue. Corridors pulsed with bluish synaptic fluid. Whispers filled the air, alien voices crying, begging, commanding. Kale stumbled. Mira, these aren't recordings. The mind network stores memories. Traumas. Deaths. Eidolon's voice grew strained. This structure feeds on consciousness. Jack scanned the hall. We blow it up, right? Kale shook his head. If we destroy it blindly, the psychic backlash might kill every species connected to the network. Mira froze. How many? Kale whispered. Hundreds, maybe thousands of worlds. A dead silence followed. Zara exhaled sharply. So we can't just nuke the brain of the galaxy. Cool. No pressure. As they reached the core chamber, the air rippled. The temperature dropped. The walls bent inward. A voice thundered through the minds of the crew. Humans. Jack staggered. Zara clutched her head. Kale's eyes watered from the pressure. Mira stood tall. The Emperor spoke again. We granted you mercy by exterminating your world. Humanity is a disease that grows beyond its station. Mira spat on the floor. You murdered 5 billion with orbital fire. The voice curled in amusement. 5 billion is mercy. You breed too fast. You think too fast. You evolve too fast. You are chaos. Mira whispered back. Chaos is coming for you. Suddenly Eidolon's voice cracked. Warning, psionic infiltration, integrity compromised. Aaron gasped as neural tendrils spasmed. Something is hacking the ship, hacking Eidolon. Zara's eyes widened in panic. The mind network is trying to override our AI. If they lost Eidolon, Extinct would become a dead hulk in space. The Emperor's voice boomed. Even your machine mind bows before the Empire. Eidolon screamed, digital static shuddering through the ship. Mira grabbed the command rail. Eidolon, listen to me. You are not theirs. You were born from the ashes of Earth. Remember who you serve. The AI's voice flickered. I serve humanity. Mira gritted her teeth. Then fight for us. A shockwave burst from Extinct's core, shattering the Emperor's psionic grip, temporarily. Kale raced to the psychic cortex at the center of the chamber. A gigantic, glowing brain-like structure suspended in crystalline fluid. He scanned rapidly. Damn it. Mira, the mind network isn't a single brain. It's millions. Zara froze. Millions of what? Kale's voice cracked. Millions of enslaved minds. Innocent species. Prisoners. Silence crushed the room. To destroy the network would kill millions who were forced to serve. Jax clenched his fists. So what, do we spare the Empire because they hid behind hostages? Mira closed her eyes. We need another way. Kale whispered. There might be one. A total severance. Not destruction. Zara blinked. Severance? Kale nodded. We could disconnect the Emperor from the network and free every enslaved mind. Jack smirked. So we take the crown off the bastard's head. They approached the Emperor's psychic throne. A massive crystalline spire pulsing with violet veins. Kale placed the severance device. Zara linked it to Eidolon. Aaron stabilized the energy. Jax held the line as psychic monsters materialized. Mira lifted her hand. Do it. Kale pressed the trigger. A silent explosion of white energy ripped through the chamber. The Emperor roared. No. The network shattered. Millions of enslaved minds were released into silence. The Emperor's connection snapped like a lifeline cut mid-scream. His psychic presence evaporated. Mira exhaled. It's done. Eidolon's voice returned, stronger than before. The Empire's mind is broken. Mira turned toward her crew. Good. Now we take their body. Extinct left the luminous maw behind. And for the first time in millennia, the Galactic Empire felt fear. When the mind shatters, the body trembles. The moment the mind network collapsed, the Galactic Empire felt it. Billions of soldiers lost their orders. Warships drifted without direction. Governors screamed as the psychic voice that guided them went silent. The Empire had never known confusion. Now confusion was ripping it apart. And humanity was coming. On Veros Prime, the Emperor staggered as the mind link severed. For the first time in his reign, he stood alone in his thoughts. He roared, smashing his throne with a shockwave of telekinetic fury. Find that human ship, he commanded. But his orders reached no one. Ships ignored him. Admirals received no psychic commands. Entire fleets argued, split, revolted. Without the mind network, the Empire was nothing but a collection of terrified rulers pretending to be gods. The Emperor whispered, trembling. They severed my voice. He had underestimated humans. Gravely. Back aboard Extinct, the crew prepared for the next phase of Operation Extinction. Mira addressed the team. We killed their mind. Now we destroy their fleets before they reorganize. Eidolon displayed dozens of red markers on the galactic map. Empire fleet positions. All units currently in disarray. Zara smirked. We broke their Wi-Fi galaxy-wide. Kale added, don't underestimate the Emperor. He'll rebuild control. We need to strike fast. Aaron cracked his neck. Then let's hit their strongest fleet first. Jack strapped on his armor, moving slower this time. Mira noticed. You feeling the radiation damage? Jack shrugged. My bones itch, I see double, and I taste metal. So, normal day. Kale grimaced. We need to treat you before you collapse. Jax grinned wide. I'll collapse after we win. Extinct exited hyperspace above the Zephyr expanse. What awaited them was horrifying. The Blood Rain Armada. The Empire's most elite force. 300 warships. Dozens of planet busters. Commanded by General Vornahar, the second most dangerous being after the Emperor. But without the mind network, the fleet drifted like confused predators. Mira smiled coldly. This is our opportunity. Eidolon chimed. Calculating optimal annihilation sequence. Aaron nodded. Let's burn a hole in their civilization. As the Armada attempted to form into battle lines, Extinct charged directly through them. Eidolon activated its newest system. The Null Lance. A beam of void energy that erased matter on a quantum level. Aaron fired. The beam carved straight through a battleship. And it didn't explode. It disintegrated. Mira stared. That was one shot? Eidolon responded. Prototype successful. The Empire panicked. Admiral Vornahar snarled aboard his flagship. Focus all guns on that thing. Thousands of weapons locked onto Extinct. Aaron pulled the ship into a dive. Zara. I need countermeasures. Zara slammed her fist on the console. I am the countermeasure. She deployed her worm hacks into the fleet's systems. Half the ships powered down. A dozen turned their guns on one another. 2 collided and detonated. Jax laughed. I love when aliens panic. Mira pointed at the massive dreadnought ahead. Take us to their commander. Extinct rammed into the flagship's hull, carving an entrance with the Null Lance. The crew stormed aboard. General Vornahar, a towering war beast with bone armor, awaited them. His blade hummed with psionic fire. You humans are vermin, he growled. The Emperor will crush. Jax fired a single blast that sent the alien sliding across the deck. We heard that already, Jax said. Vornahar roared and charged. The fight was brutal. Jax smashed into him, metal against bone. Mira slashed with a plasma edge. Zara hacked the ship's floor plates to electrify him. Aaron shot neural disruptors. Kale deployed anti-psionic dampeners. The alien fell to one knee. Mira walked up slowly. You helped burn my world. Vornahar spat. Your world was diseased. Your minds evolved too fast. You multiply too fast. You. Mira fired point blank. He collapsed, armor cracking open. Operation Extinction claimed another head. When Vornahar died, his fleet broke completely. Without centralized psychic command, without an admiral, without discipline. They fled. Collided. Fired on each other. Surrendered. Extinct swept through the debris field, a silent predator. Zara reported. 37 fleets just transmitted distress signals. The Empire's losing control faster than predicted. Kale added. All because the mind network is gone. Mira felt something electric in her chest. Hope. We're actually doing it. We're bringing down an empire. Eidolon's voice suddenly shook. Alert. Emperor Kothrix has initiated a galaxy-scale psychic surge. Kale's eyes widened. That's impossible, he shouldn't be able to project without the network. Eidolon's tone went cold. He is not projecting through the network. He is projecting directly into Extinct. The ship trembled. Aaron screamed as psychic energy stabbed into his neural interface. The Emperor's voice filled the ship. Humans. You think you have one? You think you are free? Mira grabbed Aaron as he convulsed. Eidolon. Shield him. Attempting, failing, the Emperor's power has increased. Zara stared in horror. He's evolving. Adapting. The break in the network didn't weaken him, it forced him to grow stronger. Kale's voice cracked. He's going to take the ship. Jack stepped forward, eyes burning. Then we go kill him before he finishes the job. The Emperor's voice echoed through the shattered fleet. Come to me, humans. Come to my throne world. I await you. On the star map, Veros Prime glowed like a burning sun. Mira clenched her jaw. He wants a final battle. Eidolon's voice became steady again. Recommend engaging before he stabilizes his new power. Jax grinned despite the pain. Finally. The real fight. Mira nodded. Prepare the ship. Next stop. Veros Prime. Extinct turned toward the Empire's capital. Toward the monster who burned their world. Toward the final war. Humanity was coming. And this time, they brought extinction with them.